was drawn to telling stories. She initially worked as an actor, freelancer, and multimedia producer before shifting her focus to the world of digital marketing and business development. She has worked with incredible clients from trailblazing startups and national corporations to non-profit organizations, dynamic entertainers, realtors, and world-renowned events. Nadia's business options have been highlighted in opinions, not options, sorry. I'm still kind of shaking from the phone, you guys. I'm like, oh. Nadia's business opinions have been highlighted in Forbes, CNBC, American Express, Open Forum, Voyage LA, and more. Welcome to the Be Brand Live stage, Nadya Rousseau. Ideas, to different opinions, and to different experts that are doing really big things. So the next person I'm going to introduce is my local friend, Ronda. She is a seasoned learning and development specialist with over 2 decades of experience as a college career advisor, life coach, and corporate trainer. Ronda is your go-to expert when it comes to facilitating transformative workshops in the areas of professional development, sales, personal growth, and marketing. With a passion for empowering individuals and organizations, Ronda has dedicated her career to helping professionals unlock their full potential. Through her extensive experience in various roles, she has gained a deep understanding of individuals' challenges and opportunities in today's ever-evolving business landscape. Welcome to the Be Brand Live stage, Ronda Wynn. It's so cool because, and yet I'm gonna say it again. People, they are like long friends of mine, people that I can admire, that I have seen grow. They have seen me grow in my business. How long have we known each other?
Oh gosh, since the big loss photos before the pandemic.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time. That looked a lot different. My business looked a lot different back then, girl. Like, so different. Okay, still good. Okay, this next person, she's doing big things. And one of the things we always, at least I always think, is everything happens for a reason. And somebody couldn't make it into our panel, and then she has expressed interest on being in this panel, and we were like, okay, everything happens for a reason. So, actually there is 2 of you, so yes. But you know what, this is the thing, when you're putting an event together, the reason why I say that is when you're putting an event together, so many unexpected things happen. People also make promises that then they can keep. And you have an event to run. But what I learned from last year to this one was always the right people fall in their seats. And I know that from the bottom of my heart. I cannot be more excited to welcome Alexis Meruelo. So I'm gonna read your bio, so people know who you are, what you do, and your freaking greatness. She is a fellow Latina, and Alexis currently serves as the Chief Vision and Purpose Officer for the Meruelo Group, where she oversees corporate social responsibility efforts across Meruelo Group's business portfolio, representing over 25 companies in over 10 different industries with over 6,000 employees. As the second generation of her family's leadership and legacy, Alexis is leading Meruelo Group's future vision for impact and community. Their companies span across industries such as hospitality, television, banking, food, and real estate, including companies such, get ready you guys, the Sahara Hotel and Casino, Grand Sierra Resort Hotel and Casino, and Meruelo Media. Alexis has dedicated her career to building stronger communities and expanding the impact their organizations make across the West Coast. She works across industries to create change, implementing internal programs to recognize and uplift team members, as well as external partners on a national scale. Alexis is also a renowned public speaker, empowerment advocate, and philanthropist that focuses on inspiring Latinas to believe in themselves and hold positions of power. Welcome to the Vibrant Life stage, Alexis Meruelo. Hola. And she is Cuban, you guys. I was like, when I saw her, I was like, what? Like, what? Yeah. I was like, yo soy buena. Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. People don't even believe that I'm from Argentina. I'm like, oh, yes, I am. Powerhouse, now you can stand up. You were like, ready to go. And I was like, oh, it's so Lorraine Lindsey is the dynamic host of the Lorraine Lindsey Podcast Show, a certified life coach through the Tony Robbins organization, and an award-winning speaker. With over a decade of experience as a life coach and 10 years as an EMT, Lorraine brings a wealth of knowledge and compassion to every conversation. She also served as an executive director for a Fortune 500 casino, honing her leadership and executive skills in a high-stakes environment. Recently, Lorraine had the honor of speaking with the Kansas City Chiefs, where she discussed the power of discipline and decision-making with the rookie squad. As a mindset coach, Lorraine firmly believes that if you can change your mind, you can change your life. Welcome to the Beauty Brand Live stage, Lorraine Lindsey. Oh my God, I love her. She's like my friend. but I want to say, that's not why she's here. She's here in the stage because she's freaking amazing at what she does. She has built a beautiful personal brand, and a beautiful personal branding career. And she committed during this event to going on her own and doing her own thing. Right now she works for a company, and I'm calling you out. So, Kate Sybilrud is a personal brand strategist at Ryan Pineda's Wealthy Creator coaching program, not for long, where she combines her expertise in branding with her passion for transformative personal development. As a dedicated mother to two wonderful girls, Kate brings a nurturing and inclusive approach to her work, encouraging clients to discover and leverage their unique gift. Kate's work is fueled by her belief that everyone has a special story to tell. Through her strategic insight and empathetic coaching, she empowers her clients to share their stories authentically, connect with their ideal audience, and turn their passions into profit. Welcome to the Vibrant Life stage, Kate and her two beautiful daughters. What a beautiful way to show them how powerful women do it.
then, so I know marketing. How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel a little stressed out? How stressed out does it make you feel? Can you pull out some numbers with 10? 10 being the most stressed. 1s, 5s, 10s, 8? Any ones? Is anyone just like killing it and just like, oh yeah, I wake up every day, it's marketing, oh yeah, like I'm good. Anybody? Okay, that's like a hard no. So what we're gonna do is we are going to have a conversation with these phenomenally talented women up here and get to understand what is helping their clients be successful, what's helping them be successful, and hopefully that will instill a little less overwhelm in your marketing journeys. So we're going to start with you. How do you feel? So this microphone, you're gonna have to press the little doodad there. So you have worked with a ton of professionals over the years, yes? How many, if you could say?
Thousands.
Wow. Could you like quantify, maybe like a range, because that's pretty epic.
Gosh, I would say in 20 years, 20,000?
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, so over the years in working with them, like what's one marketing mistake that you've made that might have changed how you actually work with them?
Oh my gosh, I've made so many. Reflecting back now, I think in the very beginning of just being professional and being a business owner, one of the biggest mistakes that I made is I really didn't know who my avatar was, and I didn't understand and believe in my value proposition. So not knowing who you're selling to and what you're actually selling. Sometimes we think that we're selling a product or a service, and that's what we focus on marketing. And we don't spend, I know I didn't spend enough time focusing on the solution, because a lot of times people aren't going to see that outcome immediately. So it's hard to sell something that isn't like, oh, you're gonna get this like right away. It's a long burn, so it's easier to focus on everyone's my client, everyone that needs this service is for me, and I'm selling the service. So that's the thing that changed my marketing and my personal and professional brand and who I sell to.
There's a saying, if you're targeting everyone, you're literally targeting no one, zilch, nobody. So I want to get a little bit more specific though, because obviously not everyone is yet super familiar with the intricacies of what you do. So can we kind of walk back in time a little bit and like thinking about when you were maybe inadvertently targeting everyone and how that inadvertently also resulted in an outcome that you did not enjoy very much?
Is this thing on? Okay, so back when I thought that all women, my motto used to be live your best life in real life. So my target audience was basically any woman in business that wasn't happy with her life. And wanted
everybody.
Yeah, everybody. And wanted to have money and freedom and vacations and live their best life. And I thought all I had to do was put myself in a space where there are women who say they want these things and just throw spaghetti at the wall and target everyone. Did I get clients? Absolutely. Did they burn me the hell out by not being ready and wanting to do the work? Absolutely. So I was not connecting with my clients. In a lot of ways, I was made to look like a fraud because a lot of my clients had not done the groundwork to actually be a part of my program, but that's because I was selling a program, not a result that a lot of these people were ready for. So I kind of got very discouraged. Even though I was making money, it wasn't great money, and I wasn't connecting with my audience because I hadn't done the work to figure out who am I in this space, what is my offer going to give these potential clients, how's it going to change my life, and who is really ready and willing to pay for that change.
And also a little bit of pre-qualifying.
A lot of pre-qualifying.
Oh my gosh. So now, fast forward, can you very quickly describe that target avatar now? Which is a big, I want to just hear how different that is from back then.
Oh my gosh, I can describe her to a T. And the thing is, the crazy thing is, back when everyone was my audience, do have those qualifiers. This is someone who is either in therapy or is highly researching going to therapy. This is someone who understands their limitations and they're ready to face their limitations. This is someone who has a support team, whether it be a faith-based support team, a family support team, a community around them. This is someone who is already engaged in some sort of program like the Academy, or they've already decided to purchase help. This is not a DIYer. This is someone who has already started establishing a team and has proven that they are more than willing to invest in themselves. So when I say, hey, it's $10,000 to work with me, it's like Jenna said, they're like, take my money.
Yeah, if you're targeting everyone, it's like, oh, I don't know, like, I'll figure it out, but I'm not ready. And then you have to go through that over and over and over again, and then you're burned out.
And I've even narrowed it down to where she shops. You know, but yeah, where she gets her groceries. Is she a Walmart shopper? Is she a Target shopper?
Costco, Sam's,
yes.
Where's she going?
Exactly. Age group.
I want to know where is she going?
I mean, she
Whole Foods?
She buys herself flowers every week at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's.
Okay.
Like weekly flowers are a staple.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
My Whole Foods, Trader Joe's flowers, girls,
Yeah.
every see, they're in.
But I feel like, you have to be in a certain vibe for Whole Foods flowers versus Trader Joe's flowers.
Produce at Whole Foods, flowers at Trader Joe's. Regardless, she's investing in herself, right?
Self-care.
Self-care is a priority. So,
yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. All right, Alexis. So you really speak my language around purpose and impact. For those of you who don't know, my ethos is purpose and profit should never be mutually exclusive. It's a huge part of what alternate media does. So what led you to this very impact-driven work? Like, what was the catalyst for you?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. So I think I'm going to start from the beginning so you guys get a sense of who I am and where I come from, because the bio says a lot, but I think in reality there's so much more to it. So like Ati said, I started a family business, and I started when I was really, really young. And my dad, when he was 21, so was Cubano, so they came straight from Cuba, and it was like super entrepreneurial. And he said, I really want to become somebody someday, right? That was like his thing. And in downtown LA, he catered to the Hispanic market, and he saw a huge gap, and he said, I'm going to create something with flavor and make it really different. So he bought a broken pizza shop, turned it around, called it La Pizza Loca, because he started at El Pollo Loco. True story. And he put chorizo, jalapenos, all these flavors on the pizza, and it took off. And when it became the pizza at every quinceañera, at every weekend holiday party. So when he was 21, he had one store, and then when he was 30, he had 75 stores. Wow. And it completely took off. Came from nothing, had nothing, right? So that story, right, is like the quintessential why we come to this country, why we work so hard. But now fast forward, a second generation Latina coming into this organization, right? It's incredible, but in reality, I feel like along the way, I kind of lost myself. And so that's how I got to this seat now, because as he grew over the years, the past 40 years, he has accumulated and reinvested in so many different companies, and they were very broken, and turned them around, right? So whether it was the radio stations we bought in LA, they were about to go bankrupt. Sahara Las Vegas, it used to actually be called the SLS Las Vegas, and it was about to go bankrupt. And that's when we came in, we invested in it in 2016, we bought it, turned it around, and we put the original Sahara name back into the hotel. So
thank you for doing that, by the way, because
and so I tell you this because now, growing up, I got to see the evolution of his life and his entrepreneurial career. But then as a female Latina, how am I going to be myself, and how am I going to find my own purpose? And what ended up happening was I lost myself, and I hated myself for 10, 20 years of my life. And it wasn't until a couple years ago where I had that moment where I was on the floor, completely gutted, where I said, I can't live this way anymore. So I ended up getting a coach, someone that knew somebody, how many coaches are in the room? Exactly. You guys are lifesavers, okay? You guys have the power to literally change lives because I do not know what I would do without my coach. So fast forward, and she helped me really define what my purpose was in life. And once I nailed it down, it was very crystal clear to help Latinas believe in themselves and hold positions of power. Woo, that's it. Now fast forward, I find myself in one of the happiest places because not only do I get to, my day job, right, is to help our companies find these community partnerships and grow the good of business and do amazing things. But on the other side of it is my personal passion, which is to connect with Latinas and to help them get over that imposter syndrome, that feeling of, that icky feeling of not belonging in a room, because I've sat in so many of those boardrooms as a young girl and felt like my voice was this small. So I know exactly what it feels like, and from a corporate perspective, I've sat in those seats, and I feel like now that's why I'm here.
So really you feel like you need to, carve your own lane. Is that kind of where you were when you were feeling just a little unhappy? Yeah. How many of you guys relate to that, needing to carve your own lane? Like, everyone. It can be hard sometimes. Thank you for sharing.
Lorraine, it is your turn, lovely. And you have worn a lot of hats. I did my research on you. I'm like a little bit of a fangirl, I'm just saying. And so you've been a realtor, podcast host, coach, and now you're working on a book. That's a lot of different hats. So I'm curious, what marketing technique has really contributed the most to your overall success to date?
You said the marketing?
Yes. Strategy, technique, however you want to frame it.
I think the biggest key thing that I've learned, yes, I have worn a lot of hats. I'm half Jamaican, and in my culture we have a lot of jobs, so I'm shitty with that, right? But for me, the biggest thing that I had to learn was to understand value over price. And so when I am doing marketing and I am soliciting my business and my services, I would trap myself in what do I charge, how much do I charge, is this too much? And that had a lot to do with my own personal imposter syndrome, not feeling worthy of the work that I was doing. And I had to really check myself to say, if this is the experience that I had, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to who I was 5 or 10 years ago. And because I'm resilient in my story, I know someone else is looking for that same level of resilience. And so as a result, when I am telling you to come here, it's because I believe in the value that I have to see if you're willing to do the work. And so that's the biggest obstacle I have to overcome as far as arguing is like, if someone's saying, well, I don't know, I don't know, I need to talk to my husband, or I need to think about this, whatever. It's like, okay, that's an objection because of their own fear, and let me then, in turn, understand what their needs, wants, and desires are, and give them the value, and believe in the value that I'm going to give them over delivering that value.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. And it's your turn. So you have a very interesting story. I got to hear a little bit about it at Seasons VIP Day on the 26th. So you work with a lot of men. You are not working with too many women right now, and you mostly focus on helping them amplify their personal brands. Who in here is familiar with Ryan Pineda? Anybody? Okay. So Kate works with Ryan and the men in this community to help elevate their personal brands. So in that process, and for those of you who are actually like marketing professionals or branding professionals yourself, or maybe you're a coach for coaches, do you ever find it hard to work on your own stuff when you're trying to help all these other people? And you just kind of put everyone else first. You're like, okay, it's done. Like, I care about them and making them shine, but oh, me, I don't know. So how have you overcome that obstacle? How have you worked on amplifying your own personal brand amidst, putting so much energy in all of these men? Essentially, you're like a mom to these men. Let's not even gloss over it.
That is a good point. The nurturing side of me is definitely helpful when you're trying to get men to open up and be vulnerable online, because they want to just talk about business. It's where they're just logical, right? So getting them to open up, yeah, they have to have a safe space. So that was a great point. But your question was, how do I?
So how are you focusing on growing or kind of showcasing your own personal brand? Because you're so immersed, right? I'm sure every single day and working with these guys. So how have you kind of worked on focusing on yourself and then prioritizing your own brand in the process?
Yeah, so I have been, I guess, working on my personal brand for many, many years without even knowing it. I'm also a real estate agent, so like that's how I initially found Ryan, and that's how I grew my real estate business. Was all my leads, I'd say 90% of them came from Instagram, and I wasn't even posting about real estate. That's how you know you need a personal brand, because I was like posting stuff with my daughters, and we were just being silly and being us. And people would reach out and say, I need to buy a house, I want to work with you. And I'm like, you do? Like, really? Like, so, but that is just such, I just think that's such a good point, because it's not all about what you do. Of course, you have to position yourself 100%. But I think so many times people just go either all business or too personal. And so, yeah, balancing that out. But the way that I show up is I know that I just know the impact that it has. So it's like, I'm going to show up every day because that is how we get results and that's how we change lives. Even if they don't become a client, if they say, this video really helped me because I was having a hard time and watching this gave me hope. Like, we all want to feel like that. So that's what does it for me, I guess. And I don't try to be perfect. I just post it, like if it's not good. My friend Lauren is here in the audience right now. She always gives me a hard time.
It's so true, because sometimes it's like you overthink and you over-curate. I have clients who are like, oh, like it needs to be more polished. We go through like 1,000, like, okay, like are we ever gonna get this one post out? Like we could have done like 10 out by now. But it is what it is. So just to kind of piggyback on that question I had for Kate, because obviously we can have all of the most phenomenal marketing strategies on earth, but if our mindset is trash around marketing, around ourselves, like you could have like 1,000 Etsy like marketing calendar templates, you could have all the memberships are just stacking up, all the courses, social media, even a VA. Like I know people who hire VAs and they don't even like leverage them because they're just stressed out about like, what do I even have to do? Do I record a video? I don't want to record a video. What do I do? So how have you overcome anxiety around self-promotion, and like what strategy do you recommend everyone start with? Let's pass it back. Let's go back in the right order.
I always tell people when it comes to self-promotion, stay in your lane and be fire. I think the easiest way to promote yourself is the way that you feel most comfortable. So for me, I'm an in-person person. Like, I love a good cocktail party, I love a happy hour, I love a food and wine festival. So be ready to promote yourself in your element, and then be aware, self-aware of the areas that you're not strong in, that's not your lane, and then outsource it. So like, I'm one of those people that has a VA, and I, newsletters, social media, and none of that. None of that. You know what I said. You know what I want to say. Take it, make it cute, put it online. Get me the tickets to the room. I know that I'm an in the room girl. You might not be an in the room girl. You might be a social media girl, and that's cool. But everything can't be online when it comes to promotion. So if you can't self-promote, you better identify your raving fans and have the people like me that are in the room saying, oh my gosh, Lorraine's podcast, blah, 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 whatever. So self-promote where you shine, and then outsource where you don't.
That was great. That was amazing. I will say, from my perspective, I think one of the challenges that I found for self-promotion was in asking for mentorship. And let me explain why. So there's a statistic, and when I read it, I almost fell to the floor, which is only 37% of women currently have mentors. And of those 37%, only 14% got mentors because they directly asked. So when I read that, I said, there's a problem, right? Because we are not advocating, we are not self-promoting for ourselves. And it's funny because for the past 10 years, in my entire career, every time I go to a conference or an event or whatever it is, I always hand my card to one of the young girls and I say, hey, here's my cell phone, here's my email, connect with me, I'd love to mentor you, I'd love to work with you. And let's just say out of the 10 years, I've probably given my card to over 100 women, and out of the 100 women, guess how many actually reached back out?
37.
2. All right? And I kept thinking, and I would go home, and I'm like, why are these women not reaching out to me? Like, this is crazy, I don't understand. Until it happened to me. So last year, I got introduced to a Latina self-made billionaire. And she's a dynamo, she's incredible. And I got the chance to meet her, and I'm shaking, and I'm like, oh my God. And I meet her, and we start talking, we head off, and then she gives me her card, and she's like, hey, I'd love to mentor you. Here's my cell phone number. You guys, I sat on that card for months. I'm telling you, when I say I sat there and I'm like, oh my God, she's got 4 kids and she's running an empire and she's so busy, and like, how, I'm not gonna email her. I'm like, what do you mean, me? And then it hit me, I'm like, oh my God, that's why those girls aren't reaching out to me. Now I know exactly what they're feeling. So my call to action for everyone in this room is that tonight you have to go home and you have to email that one person that you wish was your mentor, or that you wish that you would have reached out to, because I had 3 people push me to do it. If they hadn't pushed me, I would have never reached out. And guess what? When I actually reached out, not only did I get an email from the office of the CEO, not only did I meet with her for an hour, but then afterwards she nominated me for an award. So don't say no for someone, right? Let them say no, and if they say no, that's why I'm not your person, keep going, right? But give them that chance, because you never know what that person is going to say. So.
How long did it take you before you finally did reach out to her?
6-8 months. So embarrassing, guys. See?
How long did it take for her to respond once you finally did?
A couple hours.
I do want to piggyback a little bit to what she's saying. I actually just did a webinar last week on imposter syndrome. And a lot of us as women, because we're caregivers, we're nurturers, we're doing it all in our everyday lives, we do that also in our business. But it is an incredible part of paralyzing your business, because it is being an imposter. When someone says, or you see someone that you think is the next level to you, we trap ourselves in thinking we're not worthy of even having the conversation. And like she said, and I'm sure many of the women here on this panel, for me even, having to pivot in my business, man, I got trapped into coaching, doing the thing that was most painful to me, and it burned me out. I started getting compassion fatigue because I had done my work and I no longer wanted to be talking about that stuff anymore. To go back to what you originally said as far as the question, I don't promote myself. I don't. I am my brand. I have I'm consistent with my message. You can change your mind, you have the power to change your life. But what I focus on is solving problems. So when I am promoting what I'm doing, it has nothing to do with me. I am all about my client. What is her problem right now? And I use data intelligence to get those answers. So I don't assume what their problem is. I use AI. If I don't use AI to figure out what people's problems are, then the AI will use me. You're either a consumer or a creator with it. And in this room, as a business person, you have to be a creator in that. It is the pivotal thing that we're using when you look at the election year. In 2008, when Obama was president, that was social media. That's the inception of social media. That is the marketing they use. Remember, marketing is a trending concept. So you have to be familiar with what works today. So at that time, social media was it. But what are we doing now with social media is we're giving away our information. We're Googling what our problems are. So that information is out there. And so you can ask your clients the question and cater your program, your workshops to what they are telling you they need. And we can use that with data intelligence, and that is a game changer for your business.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of that and say it's connection first to me. If you focus only on you, right, and you're like only worried about the judgment or all of these things that we do to ourselves, because we all do it, then you're going to get stuck. So if I look at, Jessica or something, and I'm like having this discussion with Jessica in my DMs, and she's telling me, I need tips on how to get comfortable to get on camera or something, then I just focus on that when I go to create. So I do a lot of short form video content. I also have a podcast, but like that is a real challenge for a lot of people to be on camera and talk to the camera. And so for me, that's the advice that I give myself and my clients is like, don't make content and just think of you. Think of who this piece of content is going to help. Like literally imagine them. And then you can create and get out of the imposter syndrome. That's how I do it. If that answers the question.
Yes, love that. Should we take 1 or 2 questions from the audience? We have 4 minutes left. It's ticking pretty rapidly over here. It's giving me anxiety. I feel like we have time for
question. They don't have one question.
Whoa. I feel like we have time for 2.
So what I want you to do is find your coach and sit down with them and take those steps to figure it out, because you're not going to know what it is overnight. I promise. I didn't know what it was overnight, because we have to start to see ourselves, right, the way the whole world sees us, but we stop ourselves. And that's what the coach will help you do, is like tear down those walls. But for me, with that fire in the belly is because of my own pain. Because now I can relate to every single person that has felt that way. So you have it, and you just have to figure out what it is. So be patient with yourself, give yourself grace.
I'm super impatient. I want it
It's
now.
And so
it takes time.
It takes time, and like you gotta. It's really like it's icky, but like it's self-reflection. It's like you gotta dig deep, and every coach knows, right? You gotta help them dig deep. And once you get there, once you have that like clarity, like oh my God, this is it. It's game over. Watch out, everybody, because you're gonna be on fire. Like I can't control it. It comes out of me. Like so go get it.
I can't wait. Honestly, I'm so excited.
Okay, rapid fire, 1 more question and rapid fire answer. The clock is ticking. It's like. Okay, whoever raise your hand first. Duke it out. I'm just kidding.
So I just wanted to follow up on that AI piece of it. So, I think in the last couple of months, it's been like everybody is now like an AI expert, and it's a whole thing. And, I think at this point we have to embrace it. But what are you guys kind of advising your clients on like the balance between using AI to create our marketing content, and kind of where do we stop so that you don't then, because it is like clear, like, oh, that was created with AI, that was great, you know what I mean? So how do you guys kind of manage the balance between using those amazing pieces of technology, but also not looking like you are a human?
So for me, for AI, I'm very specific on how I use it and how I ask it questions, right? I don't want it to write my work, hello, can you hear me? Or write my content for me. So I use it for the things that free up my time. So for example, when I'm posting content, I'll let it write the content underneath and add the emojis and the hashtags, things like that. When it comes to work pieces, I use it as a way to strategize, to get my thoughts going, and to maybe clean things up. But the more specific you are with it, and you use it more, I actually use voice to use it so it recognizes me, the more it kind of works for you as opposed to against you. It doesn't seem so artificial, and I don't know if that answers your question. But use it, it's there. It's there to free up our time. Don't be afraid, don't be an imposter by using it. It's your information, it's just cleaning it up and it's saving you an incredible amount of time.
That was phenomenal timing. I heard an alarm go off. We're at 00000.